I love when audio interfaces decide they just want to update, so now I can't even fucking mute shit. So that's great. Welcome in, everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome to episode number 65 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. What is going on?
Alrighty, I wasn't even sure if
Well,
we had music.
Yeah, I was about to say I love it when your audio interface,
Did it
fucking
not
updates
send?
and
Did it
then
not?
we can't actually hear anything from you.
Did it not send music to you guys?
No, not at all. I was like,
We're sitting here in
what's going
silence.
Just like
Well, I'm assuming
Nice.
the stream got the music. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's
Are bars going up?
yeah. Everything you guys, chat. You guys can hear him, right? You guys can hear
right,
everybody.
everything.
Like, they
I'm
should-
freaking out, man.
You should, because it's all coming through. I can see the bars moving when you guys talk. I can see it registering on OBS. So
Well, hey, 65
good.
episodes in and we're still botched. Don't worry about it,
it
guys. We're
doesn't,
doing
like,
good.
it doesn't.
Maybe we'll
It
get
doesn't
by
matter.
episode
The-
100.
you know what the
You never
crazy-
know.
doubtful.
The
That's
crazy
helpful.
thing about it is that it's not even like I had a choice. Like, it was a forced update that I was like, there was no getting around it. Like, I had to do it.
it at all.
Like, it's just like, no, you're gonna update, and there is not
And you're gonna like.
shit you can do. So okay, well, awesome. Welcome in, everybody. I'll worry about the music later, I guess, but it is episode number 65, and I guess you know what, we're gonna do the trend that everybody else is doing. I think we're just gonna we're gonna take a break indefinitely. We don't know when we're gonna come back, and we're I don't know, we're switching to 17 different platforms. We're going to Trovo, guys. That's where we're heading. Going to Trovo live.
Haven't heard that name in a minute.
that is the next one. I need to make sure. Can somebody in chat verify that you guys are actually getting audio, that you guys are getting like the guys, like, I know you guys can hear me. I need to make sure that you guys can hear them.
Can you hear
Somebody-
us?
Can you
us?
hear
Yes.
me?
Okay,
Testing.
cool.
Papa,
One,
can
two,
you
one,
hear
two.
me?
All right, cool. So it was just the music. No, Google, I do not need your help.
Ooh.
All right. Well, cool. Well, anyway, yeah, so episode 65. We got a good show, a lot of stuff to talk about. There's gonna be some spicy takes, for sure. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be going against at least every person on this show at least one time today.
Yeah, that's
So-
what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so, man.
I thought we were chill, bud.
No, man, we're gonna have
Chill.
some spicy takes today. I think I'm gonna end up going at it without all of you guys at least
Is
once.
because you want to,
No, it's not because I want to.
or
It's just-
because we'll
it's
see
'cause-
how it
It's
goes.
because I'm Sin.
It's
What
because
else
he
is there?
needs
So,
to.
Yeah, I need to. I have to.
This is his last bang.
Oh,
After this.
I mean, I am taking a break. I am going to be taking a 2-week hiatus. From starting today,
news to
actually.
me.
Yeah, starting today. No, I'm taking a 2-week break. So I'm going to be off streaming next week. I'm not streaming at all. I'll also be playing games, but I'm not going to be streaming next week. And then I go to Colorado the week after that to go fly fishing. So I'll be completely disconnected for that week. So so with the podcast, episode 66 is actually going to end up being pushed 1 week as well. So normally we do it every other week. For this one, we're going to actually be doing it in 3 weeks, it's going to be a great show. So, but enough about episode 66. We got episode 65 to get through. There's a lot of fucking topics to talk about. There's a lot of great shit we're going to bring up. And if you're new to the show, make sure that you hit !podcast, !show. In all of our channels, it'll get you a link over to our anchor.fm/prepatch podcast, or you can catch us on any of your podcasting apps or Spotify or YouTube. I mean, fuck, we're everywhere. But you can go and check out all the different episodes over there. But if you are new, we do host this live, and you can engage with us directly in the chat. So make sure you do that as well. We start at 10:30 p.m. Eastern every other Thursday. But we kick off every single show by talking about the news, which literally happened like while we were prepping for the show. We got more news for Twitch, but we talk about Twitch and YouTube news. And we're going to start off with the first stuff and then kind of work our way through to where we are at now. But both platforms, Twitch and YouTube, have kind of debauchery that we can talk about. The first one was Twitch exclusivity. So right after we ended the show, I think it was like the very next day, on episode 64 when we ended, we all got an email about Twitch exclusivity stuff. And basically what that was saying was that, hey, Twitch is, well, listen, what it made it out to be was like, hey, Twitch is getting rid of exclusivity. Which, okay,
Everybody
cool.
cheers.
Everybody was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is great. And for someone like Bill, who's on another platform, obviously he's doing his homework. We all do our homework, but he, we read up on the YouTube stuff. He definitely, reads up on the Twitch stuff too, as well. And so he, read it up and he goes, guys, this isn't as great as what everybody says it is. And, it's really not. So what Twitch basically said was they go, oh, hey, yeah, we're ending exclusivity. You can stream on whatever platform you want. You can't stream at the same time, except for, I think you can stream it to TikTok, right? Like you can stream to TikTok.
TikTok and Instagram Live
are the only two that you can multi-stream at the same exact time. But if you want to go and stream on a separate platform on your days off, you can go and do that.
Which you could always do.
You could always
you could always do that.
Well, okay, so that's not technically true.
Here is you can stream at the same time only on 2 new platforms.
But
Twitch
no.
And,
that's not true. You as a partner, it was in your contract that you were not allowed to stream on another platform. As if you are a Twitch partner, as an affiliate, we could go wherever we wanted to. As a partner, you could not.
Yeah.
No, not even at the same time. Like as a partner, if on my day off I wanted to go stream on YouTube, I couldn't do it.
No, but as an affiliate only.
Oh yes, as an affiliate you could.
Yeah. Okay.
So, everyone cheered at this at first, and then they read it and they're like, this is bullshit. Like, wait, what the fuck? And then I talked to a bunch of my partner friends and I said, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And they were like, oh, well, it gives us the ability to really kind of utilize both platforms to the fullest extent. And then when I really talked to them about it, I said, yeah, but you, like, realistically, what does this mean? Like, are you going to go stream on YouTube? And they're like, no, we're not going to go stream on YouTube. Like, why would we stream on YouTube? And I was like, well, then how is this a good thing? And they're just like, well, it gives us the ability to stream on YouTube. And I'm like,
I was about to say all these Twitch streamers, they're already using YouTube to make videos. They're already using it to make shorts and stuff. It opens no other avenue for them.
It seems like too much work too. Like to switch all your stuff like each time you want to do a new stream, switch it over to the Twitch stuff, and then YouTube's a bit more complicated, right, Bill? You have to actually manually set all your like stuff each stream.
It's a lot more front loaded.
Yeah.
I have gotten used to it, but it's a lot more to get used to at the start.
Each time you're switching from Twitch to YouTube.
It's the main reason I stopped doing community nights over on Twitch was because the swap over, it was getting tedious.
Yeah,
I was getting lazy with it.
It's like what's the point then at that point?
Yeah, it's definitely not it's not simplistic over there. I really wish it was, but I don't know. So this exclusivity thing, like it really doesn't mean anything. And honestly, I said it before. What this does is this stops the bleed for smaller streamers, right? So for smaller content creators, like the affiliates, that would bleed over. So big guys like this, they're only going to go over there in the case that they get bought out, right? Or they implode, like we've seen with other creators and stuff like that, or they really are just like, I'm done with Twitch. I'm just going to move. But realistically, they're not going to go over there because there's no benefit. They've already built their community over here. Like, why would they go over there? It doesn't make any sense at all, to do that. So that doesn't help them. Affiliate wise, it helps because smaller streamers are the ones that are going to leave. Smaller streamers are the ones that are going to go over and say, hey, yeah, you know what? I want to take a chance and move over and I want to try everything over there. Well, now kind of Twitch says, well, hey, instead of just doing that, you can do both. Like you can stream over here and you can stream over there and do that and try to grow at the same time. So, I mean, that's kind of really what it was.
But realistically, it doesn't change anything for affiliates because you could already do that.
You could.
Yeah,
you could already stream. You could already stream on Twitch and YouTube, just not on the same day.
Yeah.
You can stream on the same day. It couldn't be at the same time.
Stream.
Yeah. The only thing that changes is literally like the select platforms they chose. What was it, TikTok and Instagram or something?
Yeah.
Which TikTok is not bad. I mean, streaming to TikTok's actually not a bad idea. I mean,
I was about to say TikTok streaming is an untapped resource. The only weird thing about it is if you're trying to stream from like multi-stream Twitch and TikTok, your formats are going to be fucked. TikTok streaming
fucking
format
TikTok pieces of shit,
dude. Whether you like it, I mean, whether you like it or not.
Realistically,
yeah, man. Like
with with TikTok's algorithm and the way it works, TikTok probably has the best discoverability as a streamer out of all of the platforms right now.
I just don't understand what like streaming to TikTok is
I
going to
don't
do,
think a
'cause
lot of
it's 2
people
different
watch TikTok
platforms.
streams. They might, but I
That's
do
that's
know
what that's what I'm saying
you're
is
gonna get
like
a
TikTok
lot of eyes.
TikTok
on
is
that
such a
stream.
short form.
No, no,
TikTok is
you're-
such a short form content.
You'd be
No,
surprised.
you'd be really surprised. Yeah,
I think the problem remains in like people actually interacting and going to Twitch from TikTok.
It's not like, again, it's not a small, like TikTok Live is a very, very popular thing, and there are a lot of people that watch it because of the fact that you get sucked in so quickly into something where it's right there on your For You page, it's live, and you'll sit there and watch, 15, 20 minutes of it. In fact, we just did a report for work that showed like the best way to say it is like, quote unquote, the stickiness of a viewer on TikTok versus something on Twitch. The average viewer will look at a TikTok video and stay on a TikTok live for roughly about 15 minutes. The average viewer of a Twitch stream or YouTube stream, live stream, that is new to the platform to seeing it for the first time will stay for all of maybe about 30 seconds upwards to, if you're lucky, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and that's it. So it is very, it's very much a benefit to do stream on TikTok.
Yeah. The only TikTok streams I've seen have been suggestive, so that would make sense on why people are sticking around to it.
But I have seen some that aren't like suggestive and they're actually like creative content.
I've been seeing a few League streamers on TikTok recently, but that's just because you guys have hit me with the brain rot that is League of Legends. So
I don't know. I mean, it's
I think
I've gotten sucked into a bunch of them.
It doesn't hurt you to utilize both. I just don't think you're going to get what you expect if you want the people from TikTok to find your Twitch. I don't think it's a great.
My only caveat to that would be if Twitch is willing to let you go and multi-stream to TikTok, why would if they're worried about TikTok becoming the dominant, why would they allow that? There's a reason why they're not allowing you to stream to YouTube.
It's different.
It's a different
content.
Yeah, they're not they don't look at TikTok as saying that TikTok is a threat to them. They look at it as going, oh, this is a place where a lot of creators are, necessarily live, but it's a short form kind of place. So, we'll benefit that. Like, they're not going to there's no world where Twitch is going to say it's okay for you to co-stream at the exact same time onto YouTube. It's just, it's never going to happen. Like, they're not going to get to that place. But they don't look at YouTube. They don't look at Instagram or they don't look at TikTok and Instagram as threats. They're short form content. And Twitch has no form of short form content at all. So, aside from the exclusivity stuff, Twitch then had, like, I don't know let's just say,
somebody was getting boned.
Yeah,
just straight up.
There was
getting the corn hub treatment
on stream.
Mambo.
Yeah, on stream.
Mambo.
Live.
The dual tango.
Essentially what happened was there was a female content creator that decided it would be a good idea to stream. And while streaming, her boyfriend decided it'd be a good idea to have sex with her. And so she didn't turn the camera off. She didn't do anything. She just moved it and figured that would be fine. Well, she lived in an apartment with a window that had reflection, and obviously you could see what the hell was going on. And it was pretty clear and apparent upon her face about what was happening. And so, so during that, while that was happening, she obviously got banned, but for 3 days.
7 days.
Oh, was it 7? Was it 7 or 3?
I thought it was 7 days.
Yeah, it was a week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 7-day ban.
So she got banned for 7 days.
But either a 7-day or a 14-day. I can't remember which, but I'm pretty sure it was a 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up now just to fact check, but I'm thinking it was 7.
So 7. Either way, it was not a permanent ban. It was not a long ban.
It wasn't long.
And you have people that I forgot the guy's name, but he got banned for raiding over into Pokimane, and the raid that went over to Pokimane was not the most friendly of raids, and she got mad, and she got, you know, and basically he got banned for it, and he's permabanned. But yet this person who is legitimately breaking all of the rules is just a 7-day ban, and that's it. So
not what he did was great, but like, where do you weigh these? Like, how do you weigh what she did, you know, less than what he did? Like,
and
to be fair though, in his case, he's been like goading Twitch ever since, probably rightfully so, but he hasn't really made any solid attempts to create any friendliness between him and the site after that. He's been pretty, I don't know, out
Well,
there
why would
with.
you?
but still,
I mean, I get it, but if you're wanting
it's
to
the
get back on the
initial-
I
platform,
don't think he wanted it. I don't think he ever said that he wanted to get back on the platform. He's pointing out a sexist and favoritism behavior for something for people saying mean words, and this chick is getting screwed live on stream.
Yeah,
Like
it's
there's a
I'm
bit of
not
a
trying to
it's
defend that
naturally an
situation. I'm
immediate
just saying that
unban compared to
he's not a
this.
saint either with his post ban treatment. If he's wanting to get back on the platform, then there would be ways to go about that other than what he's doing. But it also doesn't defend Twitch for just a slap on the wrist for something this egregious.
well, I mean, I think what it says is we've been saying it for years now and years, but there is an obvious, you know, unfair
Favoritism?
treatment. Yeah, favoritism toward female
7-day
streamers.
ban, by the way.
yeah.
It's a 7
7
days.
days.
Right now, yeah.
So
100%.
female content creators. I mean, there is like the rules will bend more for a female content creator than they do for a male content creator in the sense of these kind of bans. Like, you know, and again, not to say like yes, he, you know, what he did was not exactly, you know, altruistic, and it wasn't altruistic. It was, you know, it was a, you know, quote unquote hate raid, whatever you want to call it, right? But at the same time, like,
Well, this is one I'm reading a little bit more on another article. This is another one right here. Like yeah, hate raids, whatever, you know, that's great and everything like that. Like you guys know my opinion on hate raids. It's just mean words. We should not be fucking around with it. But this one, he says that he claims to have got a direct message from a reliable source. Obviously, you can take this with a grain of salt. But he says, which alleges that Twitch contacted Twitter to have their name removed from the trending tab following a tweet from this guy that detailed the inconsistencies with the banning. He then went on to discuss that another female streamer who was banned on Twitch for an undisclosed reason, who then went on Twitter to say that she wanted to shoot people at Twitch HQ. Her Twitch ban was then extended to a perma ban, but after issuing an apology to Twitch, they responded to inform her that that was the correct enforcement and it was issued correctly, but upon taking into consideration her apology and remorseful attitude, the ban was then reduced to a 22-day ban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally someone death threatening, like legitimately putting out death threats.
Yep.
A female streamer legitimately putting out death threats on Twitter. Got on perma banned and then unbanned and then banned for 22 days. While this guy literally had a raid that he could, I mean, you know, he could have been like, hey, don't be an asshole, but like what are you gonna do? You're not gonna go in there and be like, hey, community, if you're an asshole, I'm gonna ban you. Don't be saying mean words to Pokimane, you know. This is fucking stupid, man.
yeah.
Yep.
But then of course, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying the favoritism in that regard with the females, and it does extend to like the top tier streamers as well. Ludwig, I was watching his take on this whole situation, and he said that Twitch straight up back when he was like the golden boy of Twitch, just did not ban him because of his stature and the thing, even though it was something that if anybody else had done it, they would have been banned. He was doing react videos and stuff, and there were bare asses on the screen doing something or other.
If any male had done it, like that's a very important distinction. If it was a female, it's a roll of the dice. But any male doing the same thing, you're perma. It's done.
Yeah. What Bill is saying is
because of his status.
Right. What Bill is saying is that because of these creators being high level, right, that it doesn't matter. Like Twitch is not going to ban these guys.
It just depends on how much money you're bringing in, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, well, there was that one creator that completely like just showed all of it. Like we talked about it. I mean, she showed the whole enchilada. Like,
yeah, there was one
and,
that a female streamer discussed a female streamer that had showed her entire genitalia on stream and
like
received a 3-day
wide
ban.
open, spread it. I mean, and it was
Like,
no joke.
3-day ban.
Like, and it was 3-day ban. You know, so it's just
3-day. I like the distinction that for being able to see it in a reflection, you can't even really see it that well. She got a 7-day ban, but actually showing the full thing, like spreading everything and showing the inside, 3-day ban.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
None of it makes sense. Honestly.
This is the kind
I can't even.
Well, this is the kind
I
of
just
stuff
don't
that
understand
honestly,
it, man.
Ridiculous that we're comparing these things. You know, like we shouldn't even be.
Like I said, this is the kind of stuff that, honest to God, makes you as a creator on this platform, whether you're big or small, go, fuck, man, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it really does make you go, I don't want to be here. I don't like, but then at the same time, because this is a great transition. You transition over to Markiplier, right? And you go to the stuff that's going over there with YouTube, and you're like, well, fuck, I don't want to go over there either. So,
Where do you go?
Yeah, man.
You know, Bill, I'll let you take this is your domain. I'll let you take it in, from here. But you know, how are you feeling in the YouTube world?
So with Twitch being called sexist and showing favoritism, YouTube is being called racist and showing favoritism. So what's going on the YouTube front of things is very similar in a lot of ways. So there's a game out right now that's making the gaming YouTube rotation called the Mortuary Assistant. Okay.
Really good game. Honestly.
Really good game. Really good game. Just
Impressive.
came out in full release.
I want to play it, but I'm a bitch and don't like scary games.
But so everybody's been playing it. Markiplier's been playing it. Jacksepticeye has been playing it, and a YouTuber known as Corey Kenshin has been playing it. The difference between all of these guys is when Corey Kenshin was playing it, he got age restricted on his videos, showing the exact same thing that Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and a bunch of other people were showing. Only his video got age restricted, and right now YouTube YouTube's on a fucking warpath with the age restrictions. But
that's what I've heard.
He's pretty big. He's not Markiplier or Jacksepticeye big,
right.
but he's decently sized.
He's fair.
Yeah, Corey Kenshin, he is a. Let me take a look. He's 14 million subs.
Yeah,
so he's not small by any means.
He's huge. Yeah.
But he got all of his Mortuary Assistant videos age restricted when nobody else was. He made a video on it saying that the only thing he can think of is that somebody in the YouTube manual banning process must have something against him personally or have some issue with race because he is a black male on YouTube. So that's got brought up. He brought up Markiplier as a specific example, showing the exact same scene that he was supposedly age restricted for and getting nothing. So what does YouTube do? They pull the age restriction off of his video. Well, this all stirs up a big shitstorm because, well, YouTube must have realized that they did something wrong, and a bunch of people start attacking YouTube. Markiplier being one of them, Jacksepticeye being one of them. So what do? They double reverse, and now both Markipliers and Corey Kenshin's are back to being age restricted.
And Jacksepticeye's, if I
remember. And Jacksepticeye's, so they just went scorched earth with it.
Nice.
On top of that, because of this whole situation, Markiplier decides to be a cheeky bastard and play a literal porn game on YouTube for a video.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it was
to see if YouTube will age restrict him. As far as I know, they still haven't, have they?
I don't think he has. No, I don't think he's got.
I don't think they have. I mean, obviously they didn't show anything.
I don't think he's been demonetized either. So it's
Lixian was very good with his edits to make sure that it was all kosher for YouTube at the very least, but it very much should have been age restricted.
No, 100%.
I'm not like totally up to par on my YouTube like terms and everything. So when you are age restricted, does that demonetize that video then?
No, it is still monetized, but it makes it so that anybody that has an account that's not registered as 18 plus cannot
It
watch
all
it. It effectively
Okay. So
kills
it
a
still
video.
limits it, yeah,
it
right.
it also affects if I remember correctly, I remember watching the video on it that Jacksepticeye had said something about it. It affects the what kind of advertisements you can have as well. So like
Yeah, you're
if you
only
have
gonna get
like
adult ads.
yeah, you'll have like condom ads like we have on fucking Twitch, you know, the big
Yeah,
bong maybe
over here it
sevens.
doesn't matter. You could be fucking
Doesn't matter, yeah.
7 and get those. Who cares? Hey, you need some apple
So-
juice and some ribbed condoms. They go great together.
So last little bit on this. So you got the Corey Kenshin aspect with Markiplier. Then Markiplier decides to upload that video. I have a feeling, and it's speculated, nothing's been confirmed by YouTube or Markiplier or anything like this. So Markiplier was a big face for the YouTube Game On event that was going on. It was a live
Yeah.
event. They were showcasing a bunch of people on the platform.
I
That's
think he was
in
the one
gaming.
directing it, wasn't he? Or he had a huge
he wasn't a
he had a
director,
huge
but
fan
yeah,
or a
his
huge
face
hand in
was
it.
Release of it,
plastered
right,
over
yeah.
all of the advertisement. So going into this, he and his editing team had done one of their choose your own adventure segments, like what Markiplier's been doing with like the In Space and Heist with Markiplier, that kind of stuff. So they did one of those, and the Game On event was going to play through this choose your own adventure thing that they had made.
Mhm.
So they played the first video of it, and then they cut the entire rest of the segment out of nowhere. It's thought to be because of Markiplier making the video with the porn video and
Yeah.
porn game and all that stuff, and YouTube's being salty with him, so they cut his segment.
I thought that happened after, like he made that video after this event.
No, he made that video the day before that event.
Okay.
So they cut his they cut his segment out after using his face and his name to advertise the event. He's furious, obviously. So he uploads that video to his channel and has pretty well been silent about it since. Jacksepticeye has not been silent on it.
Yeah, he's posted like 4 videos, hasn't he? Or like
Yeah,
2
Jack. I feel like Jack's
the
more
last 2
pissed than
days.
Mark is. But
I feel like Mark is one of those people that doesn't want to have like he's never been like
he's never been a
shy
drama guy.
of well, he's never been shy of calling out YouTube. Like over the past, he's made several videos criticizing YouTube about their bullshit. But it's always been in like a very respectful, you know, way. He's been like, hey, this is fucked up, YouTube. Whereas Jacksepticeye is just like, fuck you, YouTube, in his Scottish or Irish fucking accent. He's just like, get the fuck out of here, mate.
Yeah. It's wild. The fact that YouTube would spit in the face of one of the biggest creators on their platform, probably the biggest gaming creator on their platform like that, it does not bode well for the space of YouTube as it is. And it's the most angry I've ever seen Mark actually be, because he tweeted out about it. Yeah, YouTube cut
like
it.
what we were talking about before is like, I don't think they care in the long run, right? What is he gonna do? He's gonna leave YouTube?
Unfortunately, there's not really an alternative, unless he just decides that he's done making that style content altogether.
Which is very possible.
Because he's got a super successful podcast at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say he's got the podcast, and he's been doing the TV shows on YouTube.
He's done the TV show.
It'd have to be new TV shows off of YouTube, but yeah, you can do.
He's also got.
I guess he's doing something like that.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like if he wanted to
clothing line
transfer
inspired.
from YouTube Red TV to like an actual TV program,
Well, like, Hulu or Amazon or somebody would pick him up. I mean,
yeah, I guarantee
100%.
somebody would give him roles.
But also too, and he could honestly take that because Snapchat is doing like that. I know Snapchat's like a word that people are like, what the fuck is that? But that platform still exists and actually exists. Like Hot Ones, that's where it came from.
Yeah.
It came from Snapchat. I mean, they could get picked up from there. But also too, he has a really successful clothing line.
Well, that podcast that he does,
yeah,
that podcast that he does, if he took that podcast to fucking Spotify, he can contend with what's his name?
Our podcast.
He's already had episodes come out that have surpassed Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, he could contend with Joe Rogan easily, and he would be much more easily monetized than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So it's a weird place to be in YouTube right now with, like I said, all of that aside, YouTube has been shoving age restrictions out everywhere on videos that are years old. They're just slapping age restrictions on them, basically stunting or killing any potential growth off of those videos. Because once you get age restricted, it's you no longer show up in the algorithm, because unless your video is being pushed to the wide audience, YouTube is not going to push it at all.
So you're saying like just that video won't be pushed, or like all your videos won't be pushed if one gets
just that video.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Well, it only
That's-
takes a little bit to get ninja banned on YouTube. So
Yeah.
Well, speaking of ninja, you said ninja, right?
ninja banned. Yep.
Oh, ninja banned. Well, speaking of ninja and YouTube, we can talk about something that just happened literally right before we got on the show.
2 hours ago.
So, who here is familiar with? It's a smaller content creator. He's not really well known, but you know, he's I guess he's okay. It's this guy named Ninja. He used to have blue hair. You guys know who I'm talking about? You guys remember this guy?
Are you talking about Tyler Blevins?
Tyler the Blevins. Yeah, Tyler the Blevins Ninja.
Flossed, right?
Yeah.
He flossed.
Isn't that the he flossed
he's
in
a
New York
flosser.
in the
Yeah,
rain to nobody.
Yeah, that guy. So went to Mixer, obviously left Mixer, came back to Mixer shut down. And
I was
so
about to say, he didn't really leave Mixer. Mixer fell apart from underneath him.
He performed the best bank robbery ever. Went to Mixer, got to pay $30 million up front. Mixer shuts down. He keeps the $30 million, comes back to Twitch, is over at Twitch. Nowhere close to the numbers that he was pulling before, which is obvious, right? And then
we actually looked up the numbers. So in 2019, he was making daily or on stream 40,000 people concurrent, right? Like 40,000 viewers peak concurrently. When he came back in 2020, he came back to 40,000 viewers.
Sure.
But as soon as he started getting in there, it went from 40,000 to like 10 to 9 to 6 to 3 to 2, back to 3, and then back to 2. So he went from like top of the food chain to like barely scraping the bottom.
When you're talking Twitch partner, let's just say when you're talking Twitch partner.
When you're talking Twitch partner.
But anyway, so then today, he goes off on a ninja rant, and basically says at the end of his stream, you know what, I need to take a break. I'm done. I don't know when I'm coming back. Blah, blah, blah. I just need to, I can't deal with toxicity, and just fucking cuts camera, cuts done, ends up, boom, gone, or whatever else. Immediately, 2 hours after that, Twitch basically, they don't remove his channel, but they departner him. They remove his little icon, image. They basically pulled what they did in Mixer, but they did this within 2 hours of this quote unquote announcement. And so everyone is like, oh my God, where's he going to go? No, there's no, look, cut the fucking bullshit. There's no, where's he going to go? There's no, what is he doing? No, none of that kind of stuff. He obviously had $30 million that got paid. He is now taking another bag to go over to YouTube, and that's where he's going to go. You will see guaranteed in fucking 2 weeks time, or maybe a month's time, he's going to go over to YouTube. Like, that's where he's going to go. YouTube bought Tyler Blevins. I think it's a fucking worthless purchase. Like, the creator that you're getting, what I really irritates the shit out of me is because you're talking about one of the most toxic people in the streaming space. Like, he played off this role, got popular because he played off this idea that he was super great and super, friendly, family friendly, and that he was all, and like he was on Ellen and he was doing all this stuff for the kids, and he was like, what? That's not who he is. Like, that's not who he was. That's not who he is. That's not anything. And guess what? Karma showed it. Like, he went from 40,000 CCV down to 2,000 CCV, never broke it or whatever else. And honest to God, I think the dude's broke. I think he blew his $30 million. I think he is now trying to capture again on this like YouTube audience. I think he's riding the coattails of Tim and Tatman and all his little buddies over there. He's going to go over to YouTube. I guarantee it will not be just as successful. And I think that you will probably see another situation where in the waves of buying people back, he will be back over on Twitch at some point in time.
I've just started to think too, I think he did get some sort of email, like we were suggesting.
He 100% did, because if you watch his VOD,
yeah, like it was clear he
it
was and some
like when Bill came in, he said the same. He said the exact same thing that I was thinking. It's very reminiscent to what happened that day that that Doc got banned. Right? Doc fucking was on high. He was just sitting there fucking playing, and then he looked down at his phone, went quiet,
yeah,
looked up at the camera,
and then started
looked
crazy
back down
talking.
at his phone, and then just went, "Fuck this, I'm done."
And
this is the exact same thing that he did. He looked over at his other screen, kind of went silent, looked back at the camera, looked back at the screen, looked down at his phone, and then went fucking off the deep end.
I also
I don't think, you know what, I have this theory that I don't actually think it was Twitch that removed his partner. I think he did. I think he terminated everything.
I mean, you have to go to Twitch, yeah.
His contract.
Go to Twitch. I think he purposely terminated all that on the spot right there,
because
you can go to his Twitter, and why would Twitch doesn't have power over changing his Twitter to user not found, taking the profile out of that. I think he's doing this whole thing honestly on a whim because he got some sort of email.
His Twitter
from
account's
YouTube
fucked too.
like that.
His Twitter account is fucked up too.
His
Twitter account is now named
user not found.
Yeah, user not found,
and the profile image is void. There's nothing.
He's done away with a lot of the profile work as well. So
all the Twitch stuff is out of there. So I don't know. I think he's done this all like impromptu, just like that.
Okay. So all right. So here's the thing about his contract. His contract, Twitch runs 2-year contracts. That's a known thing. They run 2-year contracts. It was 2 years from the time that he signed, and this is when this happened. So that was 2 years ago. So
right about the time then, right?
This is like the time. This is literally I think Mixer went down in August, and they had until September. I think it was September 1st to like figure out whether you're going to Facebook or what you're going to do. So here's my kind of 70,000 foot above looking down at this. I think that he went, and what happened was he went to YouTube and said, I don't think he ever wanted, like we all called him. He didn't want to be on Twitch. Like he didn't like being on Twitch. He doesn't like Twitch. Like after everything that was said and done, he didn't like Twitch. He came here because
as a quick update, I think he's removed his Twitch out of his pillar as well. Was pillar.io.
It's still there.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
So
he did tweet 3 hours earlier, big changes coming before you, like as his going live tweet. So I think Sin's pretty well got the nail on the head with it being a YouTube platform swap. But whether he's doing this out of publicity or he's genuinely pissed,
I think he's pissed because I think what happened was that he wanted YouTube to buy him for more than what he got. I think YouTube probably came back and they said, "This is what you're gonna get." And his agency, the email that he got, I don't think it was from Twitch. I don't think it was from YouTube. I think it was from his agency. I think he looked down, saw it from CAA, saw like, "Oh fuck," or Loaded or whoever he's with, and said, "Oh shit, I'm only gonna get, whatever, right? I'm thinking I'm gonna get 30 million. I'm gonna only get 4 or some crap." He got pissed off and said, "Fuck it, I'm out." Right. And it's just going to blow it up to blow out. And now, so he does this. So he blows everything up. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm taking a break. I'm going to do whatever else." During this time frame, he's going to try to get a bigger contract with YouTube. And if not, he's just going to take the bag. Like, that's what I think he's doing. I think he's being a fucking little baby. And that's my take on it.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
It's very plausible.
And this is Ninja. This is what YouTube wants. Like, if he's going to YouTube, this is what YouTube wants to buy. This is the kind of, like, good luck, man. If you think you're not going to get age restricted over there or some bullshit over there, like, good luck, man.
I think it has less to do with this is what YouTube wants to buy, and it's more to do with this is what YouTube needs to buy to get content creators off of Twitch and over there. Because, like, granted, yes, he's not popular,
Ninja? But Ninja, I think there are tons of better.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was just trying to get. That's what I was just trying to say is, like, granted, yes, he's not as popular as he was. His name still does hold a little, even just an iota worth of fucking,
I don't think it's a good name to hold anymore, though.
I disagree in thinking that his name holds any real weight anymore. I mean, we're talking, you're talking about that kind of CCV, and you're talking about what he is. I mean, they could have bought Shroud. They could have bought, shit at those numbers. They could have bought Co Carnage. They could have bought, It's Me JP. I mean, anybody from the Drop Frames podcast, though they're not as great of a podcast as what we are. I mean, they could have bought them, right?
Yeah, right.
You know,
Tyler One.
Yeah, they could have bought Tyler One.
I
mean,
I don't think they want Tyler One.
but I'm just
I
saying.
don't even think Twitch wants Tyler One, bro.
You know, they could have bought Mizkif, Asmongold, any of the guys from OTK.
I mean, they literally
like
anyone.
I don't think they're looking for another IRL streamer or reaction streamer, though. I think they need another big gaming purchase, and maybe they think this is what it is. I'm kind of with you on.
I don't think it's really a big gaming purchase. It's just the easier gaming purchase because again,
maybe
like Sin said, they know that it's his contract's coming up.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? You know,
I hope
Twitch isn't gonna give him that money.
I hope that, no, hell no, Twitch isn't gonna
what
give him
if
that money.
Sidebar here. What if his Twitch contract ran out? Twitch told him that he isn't getting renewed, and then YouTube did not offer him anything.
I mean, that could be a situation too. I mean, because I know for a fact,
he's just left a fucking float. Like, okay, well, shit.
I know for a fact that these guys.
Because if you said he's only bringing in 2,000 to 3,000 viewers a stream,
I think this last stream he was at like 9 or somewhere around there. I can't remember what it was. It was like 6 to 9, but yeah, that's nowhere near what he was.
That's not worth a paid contract.
Yeah.
Well, they've got and honestly too, they've gotten burned in the past because they picked up, what was the guy that Josh OG, I think is his name. Josh OG. They paid for Josh OG and to sign exclusivity, and he was like at maybe 800. Like he had a huge spike and then immediately dropped off down to like 800 or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was never like huge.
His Ninja's 90-day average was 11,500. That was his 90-day average. So if we look at a year average, he's at 13,000. So it's not bad. It's bigger than Myth. It's bigger than whatever else. But
that's who I was thinking was Myth. Like I was sitting there thinking to myself, I think he does a little bit better than Myth at least. So,
but like
Myth just got bought over. So
you know, Bill, you talking that very well could be a situation where they go, not even because of the numbers, they just go, fuck you, you're not worth it. I know what's gonna happen, right? Here's what, like, we don't care about you on the platform. You don't like being on this platform. Also too, like, contracted streamers have to stream a certain amount of hours. I bet you he didn't put in the stream length. Like, I bet you he didn't put in the stream time, because if I'm looking at his streams, like the length,
they're only like 2 to 3 hour streams.
Like, right, he has a few that are like 6 hours, but majority of them are like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if you're lucky. I bet they looked at it and go, fuck you, man. We paid, you had a contract, you didn't meet the agreements, fuck you, I'm not paying you, right? Yep. And then YouTube goes, well, fuck it, if they're not going to pay him, yeah, we'll buy you, maybe if that, maybe we'll, maybe not. And that's what he got pissed off. So he goes, fuck it, I'm scorching earth, right? I'm just going to scorch earth and whatever, which is obviously, but that is the Tyler Blevins thing to do. That is the Ninja thing to do. Ninja, he does
every single time.
He pouts, man. He fucking pouts. And so,
but I would, if he's pulling 2,000 to 3,000 a stream, I wouldn't pay money for him if I was YouTube.
I wouldn't pay money for him if he was pulling 8,000. So
it'd be a cheap buy, I think.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can say is it'd be the cheapest buy of their life. Like you said, like 4 million. They tell him, hey, take it or leave it or fuck off.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, whatever. But that just happened. So if you guys are Ninja fans, congratulations. I don't know. Go watch him wherever he's going to be live, P-Hub or
if
wherever
he comes
else.
Back.
I don't know. Yeah. Go to TikTok, man. They'll pay you, I guess.
I bet he would thrive on TikTok, low key.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. If you showed up on my For You page, dude, I'd lose my shit. So. All right. Well, that's the end of the Twitch and YouTube news section. There was quite a bit there to talk about. So we are going to be obviously rushed like we always are for other things, but
we always get her done though.
Yeah, we do. Moving into the next section is what we've been playing. And so we've got about 4 to 5 games roughly to talk about. A lot of double ups. So we actually, myself and Bill have been playing a lot of the same games. All 3 of us played, or 4 of us played. Bill, did you play Shatterline? I don't remember if you played.
No,
Shatterline.
I watched it.
No, you watched Shatterline. Mm-hmm. So myself, Enigma,
live commentated on it.
Yeah, and Scruffy were playing Shatterline. So we've all been kind of playing some of the same games. So we have quite a bit to talk about. So first one that I do want to bring up and showcase is Thymesia. I actually, this game has been out for a little bit, but myself and why is that in that kind of view? There we go. Myself and Bill have been playing Thymesia, and Bill actually went through. You finished the game, right? You've gone through the whole
No,
thing.
I have been taking a break because of the dog stuff, so I haven't gotten a chance to finish it. I finished the first all of the side quests in the first area, though, the Sea of Trees.
Okay, nice. So, Bill, I know he played the game when it was in demo, or not early access, but I think it was just a demo, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just demo.
And it wasn't as in good condition, right? Like, I mean, what was your experience during the initial play? Because I know we talked a little bit about it, but now that it's out, I'd like to hear more.
So it's improved a lot. Gameplay wise is where it definitely improved the most. During the demo, the enemy AI felt really weird. The way that the enemies deflected your attacks and kind of attacked back, it felt like they were just loaded with hyper armor, and there was never really a safe opportunity to attack. Nothing was really telegraphed. The parry timings were a lot tighter, so it was a lot harder to get parries off. They didn't have any iframes during the dashes, I believe, in the demo, or at least the iframes were significantly smaller. Um, so, and you didn't get access to any of the like special abilities, the skill trees, nothing like that. So, it was a very different experience. It was a very they've improved it quite a bit. I actually did play quite a bit of the demo. I ended up beating the boss of the demo, which is the first boss that you run into in the main game that's supposed to kill you and stuff. I grinded him for a while and ended up beating him, but the game's significantly improved. It's a lot smoother on the combat. It went from having a very distinct 3-hit combo that had a long break in between the combos to your saber attacks being able to like combo pretty well infinitely. It's still a 3-hit combo, but the startup starts pretty well immediately, and you can extend those out with the skill trees. The claw feels a lot better. They increased the projectile speed on the feather toss so that the feather toss doesn't feel as awkward as it used to. They improved a lot in that regard, with gameplay wise, which is where most games, especially indie games, really need to stick the landing. And I feel like for the experience that they're trying to give right now, they've made a lot of solid improvements.
Well, I have to say, like, going into it, I had watched you play the beta, and I was kind of, and I was, a little worried about it, and I was like, okay, and we've played games like Hellpoint,
Yeah.
And things where they were like, okay, I don't know if this is going to be good. I don't know if this is, they were a little.
Had so much potential, man.
What?
Yeah.
What was the name of that? What was the name of that anime one? The blood type.
Code Vein.
Code Vein.
Yeah.
This reminds me a little bit of Code Vein in some aspects to it.
In some aspects, yeah.
In some
I
aspects.
can see that.
Very, very, very minutely, but it does remind me of it slightly.
So going into this, I had very not low expectations, but I was like, and to be fair, like, I will be very honest, I got the game for free. My work does IQ integrations. I was able to get a game key, and I was able to play it. And I can tell you right now, I would be more than happy to spend the money on it twice over to play this game. I mean, it feels very good. And I know it's blasphemy. Bill yells at me every single time. He goes, why the fuck are you using a mouse and keyboard? But yeah, man. I use a mouse and keyboard on this. It feels really good. It feels good. I actually think it feels worse on a controller, but that's just me. Don't just take it with a grain of salt.
You're not a controller player. Yeah.
That's how I am too,
But it is the game, just the flow of the game, the pacing of the game, the difficulty of the game, like the way that you could do things and the abilities. It's just fun. Like it really is just I don't want to say like it's it's not as hard. Obviously, I think it's like a Souls-like game, but it's a very fun, enjoyable experience. You hop in, you feel powerful enough. If you really take the time to learn like the parrying system, which on stream, I know I'm going to fast forward here a little bit because I'm going through a lot of like the skill stuff, but like the parrying system, at the very end of the fight, one of the boss fights I went through, like, chat was coaching me through parrying, and it showed like how that can work. And like, you really do feel like you are learning at a very quick pace and picking it up and just can really do some cool stuff in the game. And it feels very good. Like, and I love the aesthetic too. Like the whole the whole like plague doctor.
The only complaints that I had about it was like the skatiness of the movement. The movement seems extremely stiff, and like the animations don't seem like they're
The animations aren't the best. I will give it that. And the environments, like, honestly, are not the best. Like, there's more work put into the environments than a lot of games of this caliber. Like, as far as level design specifically goes, but as far as aesthetics goes and like the prettiness of it, it's not the best looking game in the
world. But I will
really gives me like Remnant vibes though.
Yeah,
which I'm digging.
Kinda, yeah. This is... I will say though, this is only like what, like $20 if that?
$25.
Yeah, like for $24, like it's good enough, man. Like it looks nice.
It's well worth that price tag. If you like Souls-likes, if you like Sekiro, it's very parry centric, similar to that. I think it's well worth the pickup. The rhythm of the game, like what Sin was saying, it feels good in that regard. It has that rhythm game feel to it, where for every action there is the appropriate response, whether it's a dodge, whether it's a parry, and it feels good to learn those dances.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And what I like about it too is, like, during this fight, I know that you had come in and we were talking, and it was, you know, I had gone with a more like dodge kind of style. Like, that was just my play style. I settled into was dodging. And you were talking about, like, you know, I think you went into like a more parrying kind of mode. Now, obviously, as you get farther in the game, you can do whatever you want, but as you get farther in, it definitely does benefit you to learn the parrying mechanic, because as you parry, what I love about this is that it actually does damage to the enemy. So there's a benefit to parrying other than just like, oh, you have to, you know, not get hit, but it's like, oh, I parry so I can do damage to the enemy. And then, you know, the green health that's there, if you use your plague weapons, they immediately take them down, because if they don't, the enemy will heal up.
Yeah.
So it's just a...
So that was one thing that I did want to point out, is like the different health bars. I kind of like that when games have that kind of a mechanic where it's like, in this case, like you said, it was like your plague weapon, but in some instances it's like armor. You have to deal with the armor before you can start actually attacking main health and stuff like that. I kind of enjoy that. That seems like a fun time. It kind of gives a sense of complexity to what's normally not so complex of a combat, you know.
And in this game specifically, it helps up the aggression. Like Bloodborne had a system where if you take damage, and you like if you take a hit and then you attack quickly, you can get that health back. This game does it in a regard where you need to attack or parry to get that white bar to go down, and then you need to use either your claws or plague weapons to take out the green bar. If you do not like keep up that aggression, that white bar heals back up to where the green bar is at. So you could effectively double a fight's length by not being aggressive enough. I like that.
Gotcha.
And it is, I mean, it's just the other thing I like about it too is this ability that you can steal people's kind of attacks in a way. So they go into a mode where I don't think I do it on this fight, but you go in and you can use your plague weapon to basically attack somebody fully charged, and you can steal kind of like the essence of their weapons. And not each person, but there are different sets for different things. So like this guy that I'm fighting here has like an invisibility effect that you can use. You then have like other people have like a dash attack. Some people have feather attack. Like there's all these different kind of cool attacks. So it's just, they give you a lot of tools, and they give you just a lot of playground to say, hey, do what you kind of want. Like do what you feel is good, you know. And I don't know. I think the game feels amazing. I love it. Like I'm having a blast with it.
Like what you were saying, you're doing a more dodge centric build. I was doing more of a parry and claws build, like hyper aggressive claws, where most of my damage is coming out from parries, so that I don't really need to use the saber as long as I'm parrying appropriately.
Right. The other cool thing about it too that I like is that they give you the freedom to be like, you know what, this isn't working. Fuck it, I'm gonna reset my skill points for free, and I'm gonna rebuild.
Oh, I love that.
You don't.
That is one thing that I love about games, like when they actually make it so that you can instantly or cheaply, if not free, respec yourself into something that you're like, okay, I went into that fight. It's not working. Let me see if I can do something else with my
Which
build.
I did. I had to go do.
Not a lot of games do that. That's like that's one thing. That's a pin that you
Why
need to put
either?
in
I
there.
feel like that's like
I don't know why either. Yeah, it's stupid to me. It's like, why would you make it so that if something doesn't work in a single player game,
It's
Yeah, 'cause
artificial
that keeps them
just
difficulty.
give me the
vulnerable to, like,
ability to
people rush.
change.
Yeah.
Well, it's just artificial difficulty. That's all. That's the
Yeah.
reason they do it.
Yeah.
But it's
That's one thing that that's one thing that pissed me off about what's it called? Dark Souls and
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring was like the amount of shit that you had to do to fucking like you actually in Elden Ring you had to get to a certain point in the fucking game to be able to reset your shit.
Yeah, that's how usually I think Dark
And
Souls.
it was locked behind a
Weird.
fucking giant boss that was pretty difficult for me at least. I don't know about everybody
Yeah, it
else.
depends on the build.
Yeah. Are you
But-
always this cloaked like Plague Doctor, or
Yeah,
do you
you're
have,
that
like, more
character
stat-
specifically.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
you don't change your armor.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, Thymesia is $25. It's worth every penny. Honest to God, this game's actually probably worth 30. I would spend $30 on it and feel like I got my time out of it, my worth out of it.
There's a lot of content too.
yeah.
I've put in probably 10-ish hours and I've only cleared the first level. So
Yeah,
definitely
I'm
a lot
actually-
of
it's a lot
content
of
to get
fun.
your money's worth.
I'm actually really surprised with like the Dark Souls-esque games that have been releasing recently. Like we mentioned Hellpoints. There's that one that went onto Epic Store that
Mortal
had
Shell.
the fucking Mortal Shell that had the katana axe. Hate it. Not gonna get into it. Fucking why would you do that? But whatever. Great games regardless for like $20 roughly. You know, I'm really digging that for the people that like the Dark Souls-esque games. It's kind of
Yeah,
nice.
man.
Actually, Enigma, I think this game would be something that you would probably like. I think you could actually do this.
It might be, yeah.
And be something that you, because again, there's a lot. It's not so rigid, and there's a lot of mobility to it. And you know, I think that you could enjoy it. It's not as punishing as necessarily a Souls game. I mean, this boss though was difficult. I swear to God, it was probably one of the most fun bosses I've gone against in a Souls-like game in a long time, because every time you went up against it, it didn't feel like you were just getting dicked over. It felt like it was like, okay, I lost because I fucked up, right? It's because I lost because I didn't do something right or whatever. Like the boss is completely beatable. I think, Bill, you said like I went into this fight and like my very first time I got the first health bar down and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just dodging. But
it was impressive. It was a good time.
So
yeah, it looks like a great game, man.
Yeah.
I like the aesthetics of it. I like the Bloodborne-esque kind of feel to it. So I think it's going to be a good time. I might pick it up at some point.
I might as well. Yeah.
Yep, it's very, very much worth it. So I do want to go talk. Actually, Bill, I want to skip over to you in regards to another game that it's not. I don't know if you consider this a.
It's not.
It's not a Souls-like, right? Like it's a hack and slash style game.
It's a hack and slash, yeah. It's a style hack and slash.
So it's Solstice, and I want. Okay, I want you to give your stuff because I have feedback.
Okay. So Solstice, it's a stylistic hack and slash, kind of like Astral Chain, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, those kinds of games where you have a combat encounter and then it gives you like a rating, so you can go back and like work on like improving your combat. And combat is improved by using multiple weapons, using multiple abilities, not getting hit, stuff like that, doing the fight quickly, and just kind of having a nice flow to your combat style. That is the basis of how this game is meant to be played. As far as the storyline goes, the main thing that you need to know is you play as a female warrior that has been chimerically infused with the spirit of her sister. So it's a dual protagonist type thing where you're controlling two characters at once, essentially. And you're fighting through hordes of monsters with that in mind. The ghost girl is responsible for your like deflects. So if somebody's like about to shoot an arrow at you, a prompt will come up. You hit that button prompt, she will shoot the arrow out of the sky before it hits you, so that you don't have to interrupt your combat style in the melee to do that. On top of that, there's different enemies in the game that have different colorations to them as far as I've seen as far as there is in the demo, and there is a free demo out if anybody's interested in trying this out.
Is this the
There's
demo here that we're seeing?
this is the demo.
Okay.
The game comes out next month.
Oh, okay.
Is this on PC?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I thought this was a PlayStation exclusive. I don't know.
No,
why.
it's coming out on all.
Okay, cool.
But there's blue enemies, there's red enemies. You need to have this aura field being projected by the ghost to be able to injure these enemies. If you don't, your attacks just go right through them. And if you're not being aggressive enough, again, another game that rewards you for aggression, holding those fields up will cause up in the top left corner a circle to expand. And once it expands, it's basically dissolves your ghost character, and she'll be out of commission for probably about like 5 to 10 seconds, completely nullifying anything that she can do in the combat situation. So you need to stay aggressive or be toggling those fields on and off to be able to get the most out of the combat, or it's going to stall you out. You're going to have more time getting hit, stuff like that. Skill trees, you can upgrade your combos with one currency, so you can purchase new combos and stuff with your weapons with a red currency. With a blue currency, you can use that to do a skill tree with the ghost girl that's going to allow her to do different things, whether it be deflect or slow down elite enemies, or have her being able to attack multiple things at once. This all feeds together.
Is this primarily a melee fighter, or do you have like ranged
It's a melee
abilities and
fighter,
stuff?
yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Primarily a melee fighter.
Looks like the Breaker Blade, kind of.
Yeah. So there is ranged aspect to it, but the ranged attacks are all automatically based. She attacks enemies based on proximity to you, but there are button prompts that will allow you to do special abilities.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Going forward. Yeah, I find it to be extremely fun and satisfying. That aggression system that I was talking about with the auras, it also feeds into a centralized mechanic where as you get higher in your style, as you increase your standing, you unlock new abilities mid-combat. So at the start of a combat, you're going to be at a 0. For every tier that you upgrade, through doing combat well, not getting hit, switching your weapons up and stuff, it actually unlocks new finishers. It allows for the ghost to be able to hit more enemies or deflect more things at once. Slows last longer on enemies. So the better that you're doing, the more effective you are going to be at doing that thing. And then it punishes you for like taking damage or for hanging back and like not attacking for so long. You will slowly decrease that gauge. So it's a balancing act of keeping up your aggression while also making sure that you don't get a hit. The combat situations are all in a fully movable camera, but as soon as you get out of the combat, it goes to a static camera. This game probably has the best static camera as far as the demo goes that I've seen. A lot of the platforming is done through static camera angles where it'll actually have like almost a side scroller-esque view to you, and that kind of changes up how you're going to be looking at the platforming. There's collectibles to go around and find. The best thing about the locked camera, and usually I'm not a big fan of locked cameras, is if you go in behind a piece of debris, you actually see an outline of your character. So you never lose track of where your character's at, even if you're like behind part of the environment, which I think is really cool. And then as you're seeing on the screen right now, the static camera also transfers to bosses where your camera is automatically like centered on the boss creature as you're fighting. I don't know if this is going to be the case with all the bosses in the game, but I thought it was really, really cool in this boss fight. So you're always it's a laser archer, so he's going to be jumping away from you, hiding off in like the far corners, and you kind of force your way through mobs of enemies to get to him to be able to do damage. Keeping him centered on your screen makes it so that you're able to see his attacks coming and also keep track as he's moving around, because he moves around quite a bit.
A lot of quick time events, or is this just like maybe for this boss?
These are cutscenes in the middle of the fight, just to show what he's doing. Right there, he shot a door open, and it made a wave of enemies come out at you.
Yeah, I'm seeing like these like glowing things pop up where you have to like do like
so
left
those those are the parries that I was talking about.
Oh, those
Anytime those
parries,
pop up,
right.
he's shooting an arrow at you. If you hit that button, your ghost will zap that out of the sky before it hits you. If you don't hit the button, you either need to dodge it or you're going to take the hit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a really good hack and slash. I had a lot of fun with it. This is probably my most anticipated indie game of this year coming out. It comes out September 20th. I'm very excited about it.
That's
and I'm
right around the
assuming you're
corner. Holy
not.
shit.
So what's your take on things?
Here it comes.
And here we go.
This is round one of 2 of me not agreeing with people on this show.
Ding, 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 ding,
So it's not that I don't
fight.
agree.
Did you play it?
Yes, I did. Yes, I actually got to where you're at here, and fought this boss.
Did you beat the boss?
I did not beat the boss. I hated the camera. My biggest problem with this entire game was the camera.
Okay.
The fixed camera concept, in my opinion, is something that should have died with the Resident Evil old school days and stayed there and never come back. I don't think, like, to me, the aspect of having a camera that, like, whenever you're doing some of the jumping puzzles, like, because the way the camera is situated, it makes it very difficult to gauge where those jumps need to go. There was times where, like, when you need to have your blue aura up to be able to hit certain crystals that are like I don't know if it's like I don't think it's a mini game or a side thing, but it's like it's an extra thing to do. Like, there's these crystals that you go mini aura, your blue aura, and you slash them down. You have to have the blue aura. Well, will put them in places where the camera angle is tilted, and so to be able to do it, you're like looking at it from a very weird angle. So it's hard to gauge, like, where am I supposed to, how far up do I need to jump? Where do I need to hold my controller to do it? And I tried switching over to, like, mouse and keyboard, and it still was a fucking issue. Like, there were times where I would go around a corner and the camera would switch, and then I'd move one step and it would switch the fuck back, which is, again, those are all problems that exist when you have a fixated camera. I actually thought
I had that last thing that you mentioned once. There was only one aspect one time that I know that happened, but
was it at the bridge? Was it when you cross that bridge and then go down?
Yeah, right before you jump down. Yeah.
Yeah. So it happened to me there, but
that was the only time that happened to me.
It
is a concern moving forward.
It happened to me too whenever I was going into the room prior to this one, to where you go in to fight you go into that one room and you find the guy that's giving you your skills, and you would go in there, and I went through a door and then I backed up. I literally backed up, like, not even a foot, and my camera angle shot around back toward the other way. It was extremely disorienting, almost to the point I even said it on stream. I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's giving me, like, I don't get motion sickness, but I was like, this is giving me motion sickness. Like, this is giving me a problem where I had to stop playing. But the other thing in this is, like, I found this fight to be so difficult because of the fact of, like, what you're seeing on stream right now. You have your camera is locked in on the boss, but you have things that are coming from behind you that will come on screen. And so while having to keep my aura up, which you have to keep up to be able to hit the guys in blue, I also have to pay attention to what he is shooting. So I have to hit another button, but I can't see the characters that are necessarily coming into my camera frame because my camera is locked. Like, I don't understand why not just give me the ability to move my camera. Like, that
was one of my only, like, situations where when you were kind of talking about that camera lock, I was like, well, what happens if you have, like, big AoEs that are being put down behind you? Like, you have no idea what the fuck is going on behind you until it's actually popping up,
And I did get hit by enemies behind me, a few times. Not even during this fight.
I'm watching the screen right now, and the camera's zoomed out enough that nobody's going to be immediately jumping into your field of view and then hitting you in this camera angle here.
Like, I got hit by those blue guys
you have plenty of time to react.
I'm just saying that I'm just saying that I got hit by those blue guys multiple times during that fight, and I got hit while on that bridge from things behind me.
Is this the only fight so far that your camera's been locked like that, or
no? It's locked. It's locked throughout the game.
No, you're wrong.
When you go
on the boss, like on
It's
on the enemy.
it's locked during platforming, but every other combat segment up until this point, you've had free reign on the camera.
You can't move. You can't move that camera completely or 360 degrees around you during combat. You can move it some, but it doesn't have it. Because I looked and tried multiple times to find a way that I could free move my camera, and you can move it some, but there's no complete free movement when you're in combat. It's
There
still
100% is. Go back to look at earlier fights in this video. You have 100% 360-degree rotation on your cameras.
I wonder if it's something that like.
Wonder if it's something in the settings that you fucked up.
I looked through the settings. I looked through to try to find where I could find a place to make it to where
I could remembering it, but I at least remember the outdoor fights. You had 360-degree rotation. I can't remember if it like had partial locking on the indoor fights, but
so
I don't think it did.
Like during the bridge fights specifically, I could only rotate my camera from basically shoulder to shoulder. I could not, unless I moved, I could not rotate that camera to face the other way. I had to move to get that camera to turn. Like there was no way for me to go and just freely take that camera and whip it around 360 degrees. Like if I wanted to go to face, like I'm trying to get into a fight to find a fight here. That's
yeah. You're in a. Go back further.
Like right here, I could not take this camera. Like I see how you were moving. You started to move backwards, then you could rotate that camera. That's what I'm talking about. I could not stand still and rotate and spin the camera the other way.
You can spin it 100% all the way around. It doesn't. When I was playing it, it did not matter on the movement. The only reason I was moving that way was because that's where the enemies were. But I could rotate the camera freely the entire time.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you my experience.
As far as the combat went, with the exception of the boss.
Keyboard, and
yeah, I was about to say, were you playing on?
No, I did both. I did both. I played on controller. I started off on controller, and then I switched to mouse and keyboard to see if there was a difference. And my experience was the exact same. Unless I was physically moving in the direction that I wanted that camera to turn, I could rotate. I could turn it up, like I said, about 180 degrees. But I could not get that camera to go any more than that to be able to rotate around, no matter where. Now it's not like that is not as egregious to me. Like it's fine, but the static lock that happens when you're moving in environments, I fucking can't stand. I hate that. I hate
your
it.
Opinion, man.
Yeah, right. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not saying the game is bad. I did not come out here and do the typical thing where I'll say game sucks.
He did though. He did factually say that the game was bad the other day when we were talking about it.
I just said that it's. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the game because of like I said, the locked camera and stuff like that. Like I just don't like it.
I'm pretty sure the exact words that came out of your mouth was, "This game is trash. I hate it."
When I'm talking to you all, that's fine, but I can't. I'm on a public forum. I didn't say that the game. I didn't say the game is bad. I think that it's.
I thought we didn't hold things back from each other anymore, Sin. Why are you censoring yourself?
This right here, this exact spot, I fucking hate.
People watched our fights before.
I cannot stand. I don't know, man. Why are we in 2022 when we have an age that we can do this kind of stuff and we have a locked camera? I think that it's
because it's artistic freedom to do whatever the developer wants, and I do think that there is novelty in having the locked camera for the sake of the platforming happening the way that the developer wants it. If you have free reign of the camera, you're going to be doing the same exact thing through the entirety of the game. But if they actually lock your camera and make you approach platforming at different angles, it doesn't necessarily always work, but I feel like in this game it does work. There's other games that have tried to do this that have done it poorly, and I get the static camera, and that's why I led with typically I'm not a fan of static cameras, but I feel like this game does it in a way where it's going to add to the game and not take it away, at least for me, because
it almost looks, I don't know, like cinematic in a way, and I dig that.
It's very much cinematic, and it's the only way that you're able to go from a 360-degree fighter, then you lock the camera, and then it goes from side scroller to camera behind to a corner of a room. The game lets you see what it wants you to see, and that's part of the puzzle, like the artifact finding too. those blue crystals are hidden specifically where they are with the camera in mind, so that you have to look for them.
So hot take, and I know I'm gonna get blasted by people when they have a static camera that looks like this. My mind immediately goes to a mobile game. My mind immediately goes to this should be this feels like a mobile game when I have a static camera like that, because from a develop, and I'm not saying that this is the case for this. I'm just saying from a development standpoint, having a static camera significantly decreases the amount of resources that are needed to develop for a game, because you don't have.
Yeah, but what about a game that's going from static camera to 360 rotation and back?
I'm just, all I'm saying is when I booted this up and played
that
it,
argument only stands if it's a static camera throughout the entirety of the game, and at that, the same static camera throughout the entirety of the game.
Not necessarily.
Well, and again, he didn't say that was the case for this game. He just said that when he comes across that type of a fucking camera, he instantly goes to that. He's not saying that this is a mobile game,
right?
Yeah,
he's just saying that that's where his mind goes.
Yeah, it just, I don't know.
You can say the same about top-down isometrics. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, you could look down, you could look down at top-down isometric games and go, "This is a mobile fucking game." Especially when we, when we have games like Genshin, when you have games like ToF, when you have games like the Diablo Immortal. I mean, mobile games. It's not a slap to the face anymore. It was when I went into this and I got hit with the static camera. I immediately just got thrown back, because I'm just like, why? Like I did, like you went into a place of like cinematography and like. It gave a very epic feel to the game. I went to it and go, why the fuck are we using a Resident Evil camera in a 2022 game that, in my opinion, if it didn't have that, would have made this game a hell of a lot better for me. Again, that's just for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, if I'm gonna spend money on it,
is the only one that counts.
That's it.
That's not what I said. These fuckers are putting words in my mouth.
About this game the entire time I was playing it, and then I gushed to my community in Discord about it, because this is a game that I am all in on. Like, the story beats had me going well. I love the back and forth between the two sisters. I think that's really good. I like what they're setting up story-wise. I like the combat, because I really enjoy hack and slashes. And I don't know, man, that boss fight was just like one of the best demo boss fights that I can remember playing. I enjoyed the cinematic aspect of it. I thought that the static camera added to the experience. I never felt frustration with the enemies coming in. I felt like there was enough space between you and the edges of the screen so that enemies could come into frame and you have a chance to react to them. The only slight issue I had is that when the ghost enemies are not being illuminated by your field, they are hard to see. But I just chalk that up to my eyes being dumb when it comes to color. Speaking of which, this game has the best accessibility for color blindness out of any game that I've seen. It actually brings up the whole the dot maps, where you can like see if you can see the image in the thing for each of the different types of color blindness, and then you can adjust the intensity until you can see those things. It is chef's kiss for the colorblind.
I'm good. Hey man, I'm happy for you. I disagree on a few things. I mean, the hack and slash part of it, I think the combat is done well. I do think that there are games. So, like Devil May Cry, not the new Devil May Cries, but like OG Devil May Cry, like that's the vibe I get off this. But I think that Devil May Cry game did a better job of the hack and slash than what this did. But again, I mean,
it's the same genre of game.
Right.
Like I said, it's like a Devil May Cry. It's like a Bayonet. It's like an Astral Chain, where your combat is being scored and stuff. They all have that similar vibe to it.
But I don't know. I mean, again, I'm happy for you, man. I really am. I'll enjoy watching you play it. For me, it's just the camera, the combat, stuff on it. Like,
see right in here in the room too. It's still a free rotation camera.
But I haven't seen you rotate your camera. Like, I've not seen.
It's because I don't need to.
But that's not saying that. Well, I'm just saying, like, I've not seen. I don't know. Go try it out. The demo's fucking free. Go try it out. Like, It's an hour-long demo, right?
I just rotated the camera, Sin.
Yep, there it goes.
Is it? My point? My question is: are you rotating it 360 degrees, or are you rotating it from 180 to 180? Because I said that I could rotate from shoulder to shoulder, but I could not rotate all the way around unless I turned, unless I moved, and then that camera shot behind me. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say the camera couldn't be moved. I said that it can only go from shoulder to shoulder, which is 180 degrees. Unless you physically move your character, then that camera will reposition behind you so that you are facing the right way.
I was walking at the camera and it never repositioned behind me. So
Sin, you can just play this game with your eyes closed, and that'll fix everything.
Sure, that's how I'll do it. I'll just speedrun it with my eyes closed. Anyway, that's Solstice, guys.
The demo is free though, so if you like hack and slashes, go check it out and have your own opinion, because both of ours could be wrong for all we know.
Or like I said, you could be right for Bill and wrong for me, or right for me and wrong for Bill. Just go play it, go try it. That's the great thing.
Although if you are right for Sinan, we might need to have a talk.
Okay. All right. Well, since we're on this fucking, I'm on a feisty moment. Let's go ahead and talk about the next one that I'm probably gonna have a fucking argument with. Is this fucking hot take of a goddamn trash ass game, which I am going on record here to call this a trash ass game.
Oh man,
Shatterline, go ahead, you two take it away.
Shatterline.
Enigma and Scruffy, take it.
Is the newest like out of nowhere shooter that kind of
should have stayed nowhere.
Like the looter shooter, like the newest looter shooter, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's a PvP/PvE shooter, but they're split modes. They're not trying to pull a whole like what was that game, Scavengers, where it's like a battle royale with PvE and PvP
all put in together.
All put together. So you have your separate mode of a typical 6v6 like TDM, COD, twitchy shooter type deal. Just as your own kind of mode. You select your loadout, go in, select. It's also kind of a hero-based shooter. You have your I think it's like 6 heroes or like somewhere around there. Go in and do your COD twitchy shooter stuff, which I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty fun. And then on the other hand,
hate it.
Well, of course you would. You're a boomer. You have your expedition mode, which I'm looking at it now, which actually kind of is a good summary of what it is. They classify it as kind of a roguelike, which we only played one round, but you do start out.
I can see that.
Hero. Yeah, you do start out with minimal gear, just a setup and your hero.
I would personally say that it's more of a roguelike than a looter shooter.
I would say
it's 100% because you don't actually get any
out of game, some blueprints and whatnot, but that's
you don't actually get any loot from killing things. You get it all from drops and from doing your missions.
Even then that loot, you always start this expedition mode from ground zero, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So that those blueprints that you do collect are then used to craft gun modifications, which you can take into PvP mode as well. I think I want to say I got some blueprints from the PvP mode as well. I am not 100%, but I think I did.
You did. Yeah. You did, because I remember I did as well. It's
the game just gives you blueprints for gun modifications and whatnot. But I don't know, man. I think it's a pretty fun game. It felt pretty solid, responsive with the shooting, with the movement, the heroes. They all felt decently unique. I saw some similarities. I mean, the biggest similarity I really feel and I never really played it that much, but I watched some of it and my buddy play it, was Black Ops 3, the one where they introduced the heroes in that game, where they had all the different classes and characters you could play. That's what this game gave me real vibes of, because of the way that the PvP is especially set up too, with your heroes and how kind of arcadey it is.
I don't know. I my opinion of it was I the PvE wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad for what they gave you. It definitely felt I don't know. You say the movement was fine. I would argue that it was a little clunky. There was multiple times where I was trying to fucking sprint and it just didn't work. I had the little sprint thing. I had it fully charged and it just didn't work. There was just certain
the servers, because it was weird. The game defaults you on crazy servers, like central, Europe and Eastern servers, which it puts.
I'm not even talking about PvP. I'm just talking about PvE. I don't know if we were still on the European servers with the PvE or whatnot, but
I'm not sure either. But I had that a
that
few
was
times, but when it
that was
I don't
that was
know.
one of my biggest complaints was just like, and like for instance like this stuff like resing your friends. There was multiple times where I just like I'd go up to you and my guy would just sit there and do nothing for like 5 seconds
That's
until
not
finally I just sat there fucking pressy, you know, and it didn't do anything, right? But
yeah.
the PVE wasn't terrible. Like Sin sat there and was like, "Oh, this is a trash ass game. It's the fucking worst game I've ever played." I was
I
like,
will
"It's
say
not that terrible, man."
their dialogue and their story is a little
The Vagines.
The
yeah.
dialogue sucks, the movement
It
sucks,
was
the
terrible.
gameplay sucks, the fucking graphics
We
But
suck, the game
we did not
sucks.
release you
the,
yet. Go back to your
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Let me go back. Hold on a
You
second.
sit in your corner for a second,
Okay.
sir. All right.
All right.
I'm not done. All
Okay.
right.
Go ahead.
Fucking yeah.
Go
But
ahead.
no, the fucking the PvP, not my thing. Definitely not my thing. I fucking did not like it. I do not like the twitchy fucking bullshitty. I'm gonna do 360 fucking headshot scopes and all this other bullshit. I do not like that type of PvP. I'm more of a slow, methodical milsim type PvPer,
I
right?
agree. I'm
When it
both.
comes down to it.
I felt though that this style that they were going for, they did pretty well with it. I thought it was actually like pretty responsive. I was getting wrecked, but I was also, there was a few moments where I was wrecking myself.
I just the worst part about the PvP for me was like there was instances where I was just like, how did I get shot? Like I'd be behind a fucking like an entire wall and I would still get shot. I don't know why. I don't know if that was down to the server situation, the latency situations,
What
but
I
like there was just instances that I was just like all of a sudden I was alive and then I was dead and there was nobody around me.
That on
And then
top
it
of the
showed me
blatant cheater.
it showed me who killed me and he was through a fucking wall. Don't know how it happened.
I did notice that there was, like many other shooters that we've talked about, there was some pixel peaks, which is just it's just a thing in shooters, you know.
And again, Pixel Peak was not even in the fucking situation. Like the person that shot me was on the other side of a full fucking wall. There was no way that he could have hit me.
And it's also very plausible that there could have been cheaters and
And
hackers.
it could have been cheaters. We did see some pretty questionable shit out there. Yeah.
Very weird, very sus.
Oh yeah, the PVE in my opinion was not terrible. It wasn't as bad as fucking Sin says. The PvP
I don't even
trash
get
for
to
me
say.
because
I don't even get to say.
I don't like it. So take it off. Take it off. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Is my leash on? Do I get to come out of my cage now?
Yes.
Do I get to talk?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. The graphics suck, the movement suck, the gunplay sucks, the netcode sucks, the game design sucks, the maps suck, the PvE is a complete rip. Most of the bosses are fucking garbage bosses that come from shitty, versions of fuck.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? We didn't. And it's a fucking.
I will say that boss was a little fucky because
are,
they gave you zero fucking information of what you were doing with
these
that boss.
Most of these characters feel like fucking a rip from Destiny.
The boss was extremely hard for having absolutely no idea what you were doing with it. There was nothing to be said to what exactly we had to do. We were sitting there guessing essentially.
This game feels like what OG Destiny, someone took what it was supposed to be and said, hey, make this. And they're like, nah, scrap it. This is too fucking boring. They made regular Destiny, and then some game developer at some point in time found the fucking tape hidden away in a box in a storage closet somewhere. I was like, oh, well, this is a done game. Let's just fucking put our name on it and slap it out there and call it fucking Shatterline. That's exactly what this feels like. Like it's the PvP, the PvE mode, there's only one gun that's even effective realistically. And I said it and so did Bill. It's like, why use anything but the sniper rifle? Because everything else
I'll agree with that. I will 100% agree with that. I will 100% agree with that because as soon as I swapped to a fucking from an AK to the sniper rifle, I was getting kills 100%.
I didn't try the sniper, but I don't know. I thought I was doing just fine with the.
It was over.
You were doing amazing with your zoomer Twitch aim skills.
Yeah.
Right. But you were working twice as hard as what Sin was for.
Yep. I will agree with that. Yeah.
For less kills.
I will agree with that.
Because I was watching both of you simultaneously, and he was legitimately just two-tapping everything that he walked across, and you were having to like dump full clips within range of getting attacked. Like it was, you were doing great. And you were having a good time doing it.
Yeah, I was.
But Sin was having the easy life.
It's not about two different playstyles. It's the fact that the sniper rifle, that is the only feasible gun. I guarantee if 3 people or 4 people roll up with snipers, this fucking PvP is easy. This PvP is easy mode.
We had it happen when we were doing when we were escorting the pustulant Vagine.
I don't know. Did Scruffy have a sniper? I think he was still using.
No. I was saying that the other team had like a team full of snipers, and they were just they shut us down instantly.
Talking about the PvP.
I'm talking about PvE.
Yeah. I don't saying actually the snipers like that great.
I was talking about PvP. There was
the sniper absolutely is fucking overpowered in PvP too, because I switched over to a PvP sniper rifle. And
that's what I was using
the time I saw was people using the SMGs in the PvP. I thought that was the more overpowered.
Absolutely not.
On the point, the push the point. That's what most of the guys were using on their team.
The maps the maps are so fucking choke point heavy and one-sided. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like
I hate payload objectives just because of that. I don't feel like any game, even Overwatch, that popular is the payload objective.
I will 100% agree with that, because like when we pushed the first time, we got fucking shut down, and then when we were on the defense, we shut them down easily. It's just that there was that one
counterplay
map
for the attackers to be able to get out of choke points. Like you either need to have it so that the map opens up so that you have rotations that you can do to flush people out and get the push going, or you need to have abilities that facilitate the push. This game had neither of those.
They don't have those. They don't have those like Overwatch does.
On top of that, you had an entire set of classes, or basically, unless you were like, I think it's maybe 3 people max, maybe 2 people. It's a very limited amount of people. Some people couldn't even get up walls. Like there was just like a section that was like, nope, you're not getting up here unless you're this class. Like, and that's it. And there's only one way up. Like there's only one way up. Like it's in a world of shooters that we've got, whether it's free to whether it's free.
Not true. Most of the time, those are shortcuts. That's
bullshit. There's an area that we were playing on that payload map that you couldn't get to unless you were one of the ones that could climb. Like there was no way that
other people get up there.
You couldn't get to it.
No, you
couldn't get to it from the defense.
Off the box. No, as a defense, you can. I've seen it.
I didn't see it.
I was over there. That was like my go-to point, and there was no way for anybody to get up there unless you could climb. Like that was it. That was the only way that you could get up to that point.
I mean, there were those boxes, so I can agree with that. I just personally never saw anybody use it.
Even really, and when as far as it, they do have interactable objects, which are a little weird. I will say that. I know you're gonna say you can kill people with like pushing a box into them, but you can also push those boxes into to get into other areas like those.
All I'm saying is that in a world where we've got games that are free to play, that are coming out, that are knocking AAA titles, when you've got shooters, whether it's an objective payload that are like Overwatch, whether you're talking about free to play battle royales, whether you're talking about Destiny, whether like this game does not fit. It doesn't fit anywhere. It doesn't do anything well. Like it's all of this stuff is just like, I don't know. It's just like a hodgepodge of shit. So I don't know why you would put time and effort into this when you can go play a dozen other games that do half this stuff better. Like it just, nothing about this game felt.
This game is still early. I think it's got promise. I don't think they're doing anything necessarily wrong. I think that it just what they are working on. I think it just needs work.
I don't think they're doing anything right.
I don't know. I'm trusting these devs because I was watching the stream and they were in there interacting, answering questions. They were
but they also paid the dude $100, man.
Okay,
they did the same thing with New World, and look what happened with that. They did the same thing with any other, like Amazon did the same crap with what was that fucking
after the fact and everything. But either way, from what they're stating, and if they double back on it and they're not truthful to it, then that's that sucks. That's just the life. And then at that point you can't trust the devs, you can't trust the game. But they're stating that you're not going to be any like pay to win shit with like the blueprints or anything. It's all going to be cosmetic and all that. And they're going to be putting the work into all of these modes. I honestly I don't think it's as bad as you make it out to seem. As far as the graphics and all that, like I think it's artistic style. I think they're going for that Valorant look. Valorant looks like honestly identical to this. And as far as the gameplay, I think they're just trying.
That's because half the guns are pulled from Valorant.
Yeah. Okay. What name?
They look like ripped assets.
That doesn't pull from any other games. Like all these games share ideas from each other. All of them pull ideas and looks from each other. That's just the life of this. We see it countless times.
I will agree with you, Scruffy. I think he's being hyperbolic about it. It's one of those things where it's like it's the Hogwarts. fucking legacy shit. He's
that
just
game
being
comes out,
difficult to
sure.
be difficult.
I'm not being.
Yeah, I mean,
But
in the game is top notch. Like it's
yeah,
the best shooter
it's
ever.
not great, but it's not ass. It has redeemable
my
qualities.
God.
I think so, man. Thank you.
Can I have like
Go
a
ahead.
small
Yeah,
segment on this?
go ahead.
Just from an observation standpoint, because I didn't play the game. I think the PvE has some redeeming qualities. I like the progression system where if you take too long through a level, you're going to get hit with negatives going through that. I think that is a novel game mechanic that will facilitate the way that the devs want the game to be played. I think the gunplay is passable. I genuinely don't see anything wrong with the gunplay. I think weapon balance is an issue, 100%. But and that kind of goes along with AI as well. I don't think the AI is the best. I think weapon balance can be improved if there is more threat to people using long range tactics. I think some of the like enemy spawns could help flush some of that out because it seems like you're putting yourself in a lot of risk to be able to use like the SMG and whatnot. Whereas like what Sin was saying, if you just pick the sniper, you can just cap everybody from a distance and never get hit. The boss, I feel like was the worst part of the PvE experience. It was like two bosses that had no point being in the same boss arena doing completely unconnected things, and you just kind of had to react to both of them. It
That was my
didn't
biggest
feel like
issue
there was
with
a
it.
rime or reason to what the boss was doing.
It was
It
very
felt unfair.
it was very disconnected, and again, like I said, there was nothing to tell you what to fucking do. We had to sit there and guess. Oh, okay, this guy, you beat his fucking, you get his armor off, and then you can start DPSing him. But I still had no fucking clue what we were doing against the queen chick. Like there was nothing like there was no interaction.
Yeah, I had no idea either because that's
bad.
For the rest of it though, it's okay. I think it's a bit uninspired in a few aspects, but I do like the progression system where if you take too long, you're going to get hit with negatives. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think the gunplay has a chance if they can improve the AI. Enemy variety is yet to be seen on how that improves. I feel like a lot of the enemies were like uninspired, and there were a few that I felt like were pretty blatant rips from
I mean,
Destiny style
had
characters. They had the knights from
they had an
Destiny.
they had an ass blaster dog, man. Like I'm completely okay.
They also had the ass blaster dog, but they had the knights from Destiny that they even put up a
100%.
wall and healed behind them the exact same way.
Not only the knights, but the mages as well. The
witches,
the dudes, the
Telling you,
witches or
this
whatever.
was
Yeah,
just
they
a
shot out the
fucking
lasers and shit.
early concept for Destiny that someone just found and made into a game.
In the PvP, I feel like the PvP is unredeemable. I think it is one of the worst PvP shooter experiences that I saw. It's just bad. It was just extremely bad.
I think certain modes of it where I can agree that the push the payload. I don't think they should have went for that. I think they should have just went for like the COD, like search and destroy and TDM.
Listen, I don't know why these guys like shooter developers are trying to push payload as a game mode. It only works for Overwatch, and it barely
doesn't
works
even work in Overwatch.
I was about to say it barely works. X Defiant is trying to push a payload game mode, and it just the map design needed to make that fair for both sides
and the character design. I mean,
character design. It's too much.
It is.
But
so I agree with that.
Game's a solid. Game's a solid. I guess
that's
it has
being
redeeming
courteous.
aspects. It has redeeming aspects, but a lot of it feels extremely uninspired.
It might be more of a meh, but I think it's got room for improvement.
Yeah,
let's just see where it goes. I mean,
it's looking for that most improved of 2023 award.
Motherfucker, I need this vacation, man. I need this 2 weeks off. I can't deal with this shit.
They're touting that they're going to be coming out in February 9th of 2022. I don't know if they're going to make that.
I don't know.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it maybe late 2023.
It doesn't matter. This game's gonna come out. This game is gonna come out.
Credit where credit's due. It does have a novel idea, at least with the radiation system or whatever that negative.
We've seen it before. It's been done. It's
done well in this.
It's not really done that well. Like all it is a fucking meter that fills up. They don't tell you what is happening. They don't tell you why it's happening.
You'll have to learn. I'm sure there's something in a menu somewhere that you could look it up.
But they don't tell you anything about it. They just literally are like, you see a bar at the top. I guarantee that if I would have never mentioned one fucking time to these guys about what it was, they would have never known.
In fact, I did. I was like, what the fuck is this bar up at the top? And you guys were like, oh, that's some kind of like weird radiation. I was like, I would have never known that. There was nothing to fucking tell me that. Legitimately, it said contamination. I was like, okay, that tells me nothing.
There's nothing that tells you, like, aside from the fact that the very fucking beginning in a small footnote when you go to launch the game, and it's not even launch the game, to go to select the mode, does it say, oh, hey, you need to get out or your contamination raises, and that's it. Like, there's no other, and I just happened to catch that. Like I'm sorry, but this game does not do anything well. Like, again, your opinion's fine, my opinions differ. That's where we're at. But
I'm just coming from an observationist standpoint. I like that was the one thing I liked.
Yeah, it's a cool concept if it did it even remotely somewhat okay, but it doesn't. Like, it doesn't.
I don't think it's the fact that they don't do it bad. I think it's the fact that they don't explain it well. They don't explain it really at all. And I think that's something that
cool.
They should.
We're going in circles now, guys.
God damn, game sucks. It'll come out and it's gonna, and you're never gonna.
That's your opinion. Ever again. That's your opinion.
Oh, all right. Well, we've got 16 minutes to get through fucking news.
I'm like, Jesus Christ! I told you.
Oh wait, we have another. We have another game. Scruffy, you want to talk about what is?
No, we'll save it for next time. It's fine.
All right, save it for next time. There you go. Anyway, okay, going into news. So there's actually not a whole lot of news that kind of came out. It was more in spurts. We were going to spend some time talking about Gamescom, but honestly, if there was a bunch of stuff that came out at Gamescom. There was some stuff that came out at Gamescom. The most important thing for me that I saw was Life of P. That game looks really dope. I am excited about that, Bill. I'm imagining that you're excited about it, right?
Lies of P.
Lies of P. I thought it was Life of P.
You know, Life of Pi.
Because it's a Pinocchio game.
I still don't understand it. I'm just like, okay. Now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for what can we make into a Dark Souls game? Pinocchio, baby, let's go.
The Pinocchio story is super dark.
Did you ever play the Alice Madness Returns games?
I have. Yeah.
It's that style thing.
I understand it, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, what can we make into a fucking Dark Souls, baby? Let's go. Pinocchio.
I don't know, man. Dude, the Pinocchio is actually a very, very, very dark story. So
I'm aware. I am fully aware. A lot of those fairy tales are very dark.
I think it's a cool concept.
I like it. It's fun. I think it looks cool.
I think it's weird personally.
You can go check out Gamescom's coverage. They have there's a bunch of videos that released and stuff like that.
I wish we could have talked about Gamescom more instead of our stupid games.
We can talk about it next week if we want to.
Okay.
Or next podcast, but
we'll talk about it next time. Make sure Bill gets his Gamescom time.
It was a good show.
It was not bad.
It was pretty good.
So these are all going to be kind of turned into quick hits for the most part, but Mafia Game, there's a new Mafia game that's coming out. By the way, if you for anybody that does not have the OG Mafia, the original Mafia 1, you can go pick it up right now for free from now until the 5th of September.
I would also put a little pin on that as well. If you've never played it before, play it, but I would also tell you to spend I think it's $15 right now. I think it's on sale too, as the definitive edition for Mafia 1, because they take it from the old like 2000 or like, I don't even think it's 2000. I think it was like 1991 or something like that. But whatever it was, they take it from that old engine and bring it into the Mafia 3 engine. So it's a little bit easier to get into, because the old Mafia 1 engine, not the best experience.
Yeah, Mafia. So it's Mafia, the original version, Mafia Classic. I don't even know what this is. Mafia 2 Classic.
Mafia Definitive Edition is the one that you want to get. That's the one that they remade.
It's they are like, I think altogether $30 for everything. It's
it's a really good deal. Mafia 1 and Mafia 2, like to this day, go down in my favorite games that I have ever played.
I'm sorry, it's $23 for both. You can get Mafia 2 Definitive Edition and Mafia no, it's 30 for Mafia 1, 2, and 3. You can get it for $30.
$23.99.
Yep.
Anyway,
it's a good deal, man. Like again, like I said, like I'm really looking forward to Mafia 4, as long as they don't go down the route that they did for Mafia 3, where they took it into like a different era. They need to go back and just stick with the 50s, like the 40s and the 50s.
What did they do with Mafia 3? Was it
Mafia 3? They took it into the 60s and the 70s, where it was like the psychedelic. Everybody's doing fucking crack and coke, and you were a war veteran, a black war veteran that was coming back from the war and dealing with the KKK and all that shit. It was a very political. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It just didn't work. It should not have been a Mafia game.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, in my opinion, it was Vietnam era. I just didn't like the way that they took it. If you're gonna play a Mafia game, play a fucking Mafia game. You're not the Bayou Mafia. You're the suits and ties gonna fucking make you sleep with the fishes Mafia.
But yeah, so they announced that it is. I don't think they announced when it's coming out. I think they just said that.
No, they haven't. They just said that it was in production, and I'm hoping, again, like I said, I'm hoping that they go down the route of the 50s, because it's the same people that made Mafia 2, the same studio. So
cool. We also got PS5 the price increased of this. It was only in select markets. It's not
yeah,
it's not everywhere. So I just want to make sure. And not only off the backs of that, I swear Sony should have seen this coming, but Microsoft obviously took the opportunity to come out there and be like, hey, we're not raising the price of shit. So
good
Nintendo also did.
What's up?
Oh, nice. Nintendo
said the same thing. They also said that they're not raising the price of their Switches.
Yeah, so somebody at Sony needs to maybe be fired for this one, to be like, this was a good idea to do. Like, they could at least market it. I don't know. Anyway, the PS5
I don't know
increased.
how you could market it
There's
to
no
be a
way
positive.
better. Yeah.
And especially in like the light of the lawsuit that's going on with their PlayStation Marketplace stuff.
The places that are going to be effective are Europe, the UK, Japan, China, Australia, Mexico, and Canada.
A lot of places, though.
It all varies anywhere from 100 in their native currency to $50 in their native currency.
Yeah. So there you go. And also Sony news, Tencent and Sony bought out more of Fromsoftware stock, giving them Tencent now owns 16% of Fromsoftware, and Sony owns 14% of Fromsoftware.
Now, is this Fromsoftware or Fromsoftware's parent corporation?
This is let's see. The announcement on Wednesday by Fromsoftware's parent corporation, Kawa.
Okay. So it's not from directly. It's the parent company.
Well, this one says that following the issuance of new stock shares, Tencent will hold 16.25% of Fromsoftware, while Sony will slightly have a lower 14.9%. Kato Kawaya, or however you pronounce that, corporation will maintain its status as majority stockholder in the Dark Souls studio following the purchase, holding 69.66% of Fromsoftware.
So they're trying to compete with the parent company.
Right. So they actually bought the Fromsoftware stock itself.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. So Tencent and Sony are kind of having a bidding war, basically.
Yes. I don't think Sony can go toe to toe with Tencent. I think Tencent.
I don't think they can either. Yeah.
Can take them out. On top of that, we also had news that it's rumors. It's not 100% yet, but Amazon might be buying EA.
Debunked.
What's up?
What's that?
It was already debunked. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure EA stated that they are not being bought out.
Fuck that. I don't trust anything that they say. I don't believe that. They can come out and say that they're not actively trying to be bought out, but I bet you they're fucking looking.
From Amazon, I would believe they said. They didn't say that. They just said they weren't being bought out by Amazon.
As of 6 days ago, their stock surged in fucking price points. basically having people believe that that this is not falsified. So I don't know. I mean, who knows? But I'm just saying it's a rumor out there that it's possible that Amazon would buy EA. Do you think that'd be do you think that's a smart move from Amazon's point of view to buy out EA?
No.
I wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to.
it would
be the death of EA because everything
Yeah, I
Amazon
was about to
touches
say,
gaming wise goes
it
to
would
hell.
it would get rid of EA for everybody else. So yeah, have at it. Like, I'm okay with that. But I mean, granted, like it would bolster their Amazon Games studios with a lot of developers that are talented developers or semi-talented developers, I suppose.
I like how you used to semi-talented developers. Well, talking about semi-talented developers in EA, Battlefield 2042, their season 2 came out. Shruffy and I did play it.
It's same shit, different day.
What's up?
Yeah, same shit, different day. I mean,
it's I don't know, man.
Absolutely nothing.
They just they locked here, guys. We'll wrap this up in one easy to like digest little meal. They locked fucking guns behind a battle pass that you cannot get access to. So people have access to guns that you do not have access to.
And that was like that when they first introduced that shit, that was one thing that I said. I was like, if they lock that behind that shit, that's fucked. And I knew, I was like, oh, they're gonna do it, bro. And
they did it.
So there's no confusion. They're on the free side of the battle pass, but what the problem is when that battle season 1 ended, you can no longer get those guns from season 1 battle pass. So
what we were saying is, I guarantee you what's gonna happen is they're gonna put that fucking battle pass, all those weapons up as a fucking as a what's called a microtransaction and call it like a catch up mechanic or something.
Yeah, I swear to God, if they do.
Yep. So they're locked behind that battle pass. They didn't do what Halo does, which is allow you to get the access to the battle pass no matter what. So so that happened. If that pisses you off, you can go play the new Wesker DLC that came out for DBD. He is absolutely busted in every way, shape, and form that can be busted. Bro, he is so busted. Like, he's not as busted as what he was on the PTB, but bro, he's
I'm not a DBD fan. I've been watching him.
He's not busted. He's upper tier. I think he's an A+. I think he's one of the stronger killers in the game, but he's not busted.
I think he's busted.
He's not stronger than Nurse. He's not stronger than Spirit. He's not.
I mean, he doesn't have blink like to be able to the map transition like a Nurse does, but he sure as fuck has better chase mechanics than 90% of the damn killers.
Wait, is this the Resident Evil thing that we were talking about last week?
Yeah.
So
that's how much I pay attention to Dead by Daylight shit, right?
I'm just a little upset that they didn't give him a theme song, like I wear my sunglasses at night whenever he chases somebody. That would be great.
Yeah, it is funny. If you one of the animations when you pallet stun him actually knocks his glasses off.
That's
great.
Does he put him back on though?
Glad they put that.
He pulls another one out of his.
He's got an unlimited.
Glad they put that much detail into it.
He's got an unlimited. That's
the time that they took to put that detail in. They could have been balancing him, I suppose.
He's not that unbalanced. He's upper tier at best.
I mean, we're having people say he's fast as shit, man.
He is fast as shit.
He can dash. What I think I know minimum of twice. I don't think he can do 3 times. I don't know. Can he do 3 times?
There might be an iridescent that gives him 3, but I don't think there is.
He can, and then if he grab, like I literally saw him grab somebody and there was no wall. So one of his attack mechanics is that he'll dash, and if he catches you in the dash, I know 4 minutes. I got it.
By the way, really quickly, if you guys have any questions in the chat, in any of our chats, pop them into the chat. We're running on the line here. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go over, but put them in the chat.
But so he dashes, he catches you, and he'll throw you up against a wall. He'll like hit up against a wall, and like that's his hit mechanic off that, right? It counts as one. It counts as one hit. What will then happen is if he catches you and there's no wall or anything around him, he yeets you the fuck away. And I watched him literally pick up this chick, and he was in Killer Cabin or Killer Shack. The door was open. He couldn't hit her against a wall, so he just chucks this bitch up against
deleted this
just against a tree like 15 feet away. And I'm like, Oh my god! Like it's so violent.
He's balanced. He's
so
actually really
violent.
balanced, guys. Yeah, he's really
the throw
balanced.
doesn't do damage though.
It puts you in a state. It counts as a hit.
If you don't hit anything off the throw, then it doesn't do damage. So if he just throws you into open space, you don't take the hit.
You just go back to your people.
Impact.
It was dude, when she hit that tree, I was like, bro, that's it. She's dead.
Now if
She's
he
done.
throws her into a tree, that'll do damage. But if he doesn't either do the slam or throw you into something, it doesn't do damage.
It was so fucking brutal. Anyway, Guild Wars 2 is also on Steam now. We've seen a huge rise in Guild Wars 2 players because of it. It's free on Steam.
A lot of players. Yeah. Like plus 7,000 or something, I think.
Yep, it's doing really well, and they've got a new expansion coming out, I believe, as well. For that, Halo Infinite, it hasn't been in the news lately, but it is in the news now. If you were looking forward to local co-op, well, you're gonna have to wait even longer because it's still delayed. It got delayed again, so
of course
which
it
is insane for a Halo game to not come out with local co-op, and to be this far out. So I don't even think people even know that game exists anymore. Then the other side of things is that we talked about this, I think last week or maybe the week before that, or last episode, Ubisoft. We talked about how they were delaying or shutting down servers for older games, and shocker, they backtracked it. But they didn't backtrack it to say they're not going to shut them down. They're just like, oh, we're going to delay it a little bit until October.
We'll delay it. We'll extend it.
You get until October 1st to have fun with your games. Anno 2070, Assassin's Creed 2.
You can still buy them too.
Absolutly, you can still buy them.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood,
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Liberation, Driver San Francisco, Far Cry 3, Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands, Rayman Legends, Silent Hunter 5, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and Zombie. You are all of the ones that are going to die on.
It's
at least,
crazy, dude.
They're private servers.
I don't think that they can technically. Like
Ubisoft's not that the dedicated team will upgrade the online services for Anno, allowing players to continue enjoying the features. Space Junkies, HTC Vive was another game that was mentioned to be shut down, and that remains if you'll be seen. So no, these games are shutting down. These games are done.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So
crazy,
that's it, guys. Hey, I did it again, man. I did it again. 12:30 on the dot. Nice. We do have a question. What is the game or event thing that you are currently hyped for? My only game that I'm really the most hyped for right now is Diablo 4. That's what because Nightingale and all that stuff got delayed. Well, what's that? I don't even know the game, so I don't even know the name of it, so I can't. Redfall. That's the game I'm excited for.
Redfall.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yep.
That got delayed too, though.
No. It's still coming
for me, it is Atomic Heart. It's like a kind of post-apocalyptic dystopian.
We don't have a
shooter exploration.
Do we have a date for that?
Yeah.
It's another game that was quoted end of 2022, so it'll probably get delayed.
It's gonna get delayed. Yeah.
But
2022 is like the year of delays. It seems like
it's been so probably 2023, hopefully.
Bill, what Solstice, right?
Solstice and High on Life is looking really good.
Oh, that's right. It's on Game Pass too.
What? And my thing with High on Life is like I know all the comedic jokes and everything are going to be exactly the same as all like Rick and Morty, but I still want it.
It's on Game Pass. Play it on Game Pass. You can preload it right now.
Yeah, perfect.
Enigma. He's waiting to see where
if it's
goes.
If it's not if we're talking about like
let's go on.
Just upcoming games and not just like this year, then yeah, probably Nightingale.
Or Arc Raiders is looking pretty good.
Arc Raiders looking really nice.
You're waiting to see where Ninja goes. Don't lie.
Yeah,
you're so excited.
I gotta follow my boy Ninja, my boy Levins.
Yep.
You guys are like this,
Yep. I'm actually Drake.
Yep.
That's it, guys.
All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna end it. Guys, thank you so much for everybody for being here and hanging out. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed the podcast as much as we did. 65 is in the books. Make sure that you go and check out all of the previous episodes at anchor.fm/prepatch podcast or any of your podcast apps or Spotify or YouTube or our channels. Fuck, you can get us anywhere. We're everywhere. We're contagious.
We're working on getting us on Amazon podcast too.
There you go. We're going to be everywhere. See, that's actually what happened. We told Amazon we needed the bandwidth, so they kicked Ninja and opened it up for us.
Yeah, it is true. I was like, listen, I'm Drake, yo.
Look, man, we got pull.
You better get this asshole out. I got this real
nice. Is this
nice
your Drake impression?
Podcast. Yeah.
You're so.
I don't know what Drake sounds like.
You're so fucking white, dude. Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right, guys, we're done.
What Drake sounds like.
You guys have a wonderful night. We will catch you guys next time on the Pre-Patch Podcast in 3 weeks. Keep it up. 3 weeks. We will be out for the next 2 weeks. So episode 66 will be in 3 weeks. See you guys.
Deuces.
Much love, guys.
My saying.
It's my saying.
Installation.